Do you know what? At times it was quite a breathless game, Dean, and it was end to end. And I thought Everton were good value for their point against the Liverpool side that still aren't quite hitting peak form.
No, not clicking. But Everton had a go. The fans got behind them as well. The game had lulls in it, and derby matches aren't derby matches as they were because the rules have changed. You can't show intimidation. You can't show aggression really now. So whereas it used to be like, the first 50-50s were, come on, I can't wait to see this.
Right.
Don't miss the kickoff, lads. As you're on your way to the game, whatever you do, don't miss the first 5 minutes.
I know
but
what
that's
you're saying.
stopped now. So it's become more tactical. And I thought Everton done well. Pickford has made a lot of good saves yesterday.
8.
Eight good saves.
Yeah.
Alisson's made an unbelievable save, deflected, going over him, and he's got his wrong hand up and tipped it over. Diaz has hit the post. They've hit the post twice. Salah's hit the post. So the game could have gone either way, but I think Frank Lampard will be delighted with the point. Liverpool still haven't clicked into gear, but they've still got injuries.
Yeah.
They've lost Mane. They've got Thiago's injured. Matip's still not in the team. He's the best pairing with Van Dijk. Jota's still injured. Nunez has come back from a suspension, so he's back fit.
Were you surprised that he started? Well, I say that. I know you must have been because you thought stick with Roberto Firmino.
Yeah, he's been playing well. Yeah. And his touch is unbelievable. Firmino, that's his strength. His first touch and vision for linking players, putting them in. But he's a big, strong striker, and they're all good, aren't they? Liverpool have just not clicked into gear. They've got 2 wins out of 6, so it's not ideal for them. But I'm sure they'll pick up. Thiago's the player they miss, but he can't stay fit.
No.
He plays well for a few weeks and then gets himself injured.
We know that Everton thought they'd perhaps won the game through Conor Cody's goal that eventually was, after a lengthy VAR intervention, was eventually ruled out for offside. But what we did see is Everton had a striker. An actual striker playing up front. Obviously, they've had their Dominic Calvert-Lewin issues, unfortunately, and Anthony Gordon has been playing previously as a false number 9. But Neil Maupay started making his debut. What a game to make your debut in as well. I thought he did well. I thought he was lively. I thought he made a real decent contribution, caused a few problems.
Well, I know you've watched him a lot, and so I watched yesterday carefully, and he's got fire in his belly, like you said.
Yeah. And
that was a perfect game for him. I think he would have really enjoyed that game. But just to show I'm not biased, how Conor Cody's goal has come off James Milner's foot. So the cross that come across the face of the goal it's definitely hit James Milner's foot.
Well, if it's definitely, surely then it should be given.
Yeah. If you watch it closely, it comes off James Milner's toe. Now, I heard there's a rule that he's not deliberately played the ball or he's not made an attempt. But he's trying to block the cross. So if he'd have got his foot there, he would have gone out for a corner. Or he'd have missed the ball altogether. But it's hit his toe. So for me, Conor Cody should be onside.
Okay.
Or do I not? Do you know the laws?
Oh, you've thrown that at me right now, and I'm trying to think because they keep changing the laws.
Well, let's go back to the Brentford game again.
Yep. I said I wouldn't bring them up.
The long ball on the counter-attack.
Yep.
Leeds centre-back Koch has gone up for the header.
But that is a deliberate play, isn't it?
But because it's come off his head, Brian's onside.
Yep. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So if it's come off James Milner's foot, what's the difference between it coming off James Milner's foot? So Conor Cody should have been onside.
Well, maybe our listeners can tell us what they made of that then. And I'm going to look into it.
I've only been in the game 30 years. I don't know the laws.
No, it's changed though, hasn't it?
Changes every week now.
It does. But there was another controversial moment in the fact that should Virgil van Dijk have seen a red card in this game?
For me, no. I can see what he's tried to do. He's backing off, and then he gambles and sticks his leg in. He was late, so it's a yellow card. The attacker is going at him and just toe poked it away from him. Van Dijk's lunge is late, so it looks bad. When you slow it down and pause it, it looks like he's hit him, across his shin. But he's not deliberately tried to hurt him. He's trying to poke the ball away. But he's backed off, lunge, got it wrong, timed it wrong. Yellow card. It's not a red card for me.
Well, let's hear what Frank Lampard then made of that decision. I think he feels it should have been a red.
I think it's just a pure red card. I haven't even been asked about it in interviews yet. I haven't been asked. I've done all the media, the TV that watched the game. Nobody asked me about it. When it's my players, I think we get asked. And I think it absolutely went against us. And I love Virgil van Dijk. I think he's a fantastic player. And there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that he's going out to do people. But sometimes when you arrive late in the moment of a game, you get a red card because of the tackle. And it was one of those. I didn't realise at the time because the game was happening. You see it again, it's a clear red card. If you talk about endangering, if you stop the incident when Anana's leg's on the ground, he can break his leg. There's no doubt about that.
There were some that agreed with him. Joe Cole said it was a leg breaker.
No. See, once again, because the referees now have decided to let things go. Right, we've got Graham Souness, Alan Shearer saying this is miles better now. They're stopping simulation because they're letting silly little things go. Mm-hmm. They're not blowing up for everything. They're not giving fouls for everything. They're allowing a bit of contact. So, is it a red card or not? They change the rules every week.
Well, there is also the fact that people will argue the consistency and how other players have been sent off for similar looking challenges. Now, I'm reading Chris Foy in the Daily Mail, who's given a lot of comments on some of those controversial decisions from yesterday. This was his take, former Premier League referee, of course, on what he made of that Virgil van Dijk situation. He says, of course, it would have been checked by VAR, who was within his rights to upgrade, had he wanted to, from that yellow that Anthony Taylor had given originally. Instead, he agreed with the on-field referee's decision, so therefore there was no need to point Taylor in the direction of the monitor. For the challenge to be deemed dangerous and worthy of a red, you have to look at the speed and intensity of the challenge, the use of excessive force, and according to Chris Foy, he believes there was none of that. He says it was reckless, but reckless does not automatically mean a red card. Reckless is a yellow by the letter of the law. So that is one referee's take on that situation, backing up those officials in that game at Goodison.
Yeah, well, just pick a right winger or left winger. They spend the whole game taking fullbacks on. Mm-hmm. And some of them, the feet are like lightning quick. So they run up to the defender and they drop the shoulder, they go and past. Defender sticks his leg in. They either jump over the leg, or the defender gets the ball, or the defender gets both. But at some point, the defender lunges in when a winger's taking him on. I've been in that situation myself out in the right channel. I run at the defender. I used to run at the bad foot and then try and go onto my right foot. Sometimes they would lunge in and catch you. It's a foul. They would catch you. They're not trying to basically go over the top of the ball. They're just trying to get the ball, but your feet are too quick for their lunge. So I think he's timed his lunge wrong. It's a definite foul, but I don't think it's a red card.
Well, ultimately, finished goalless then between Everton and Liverpool. Everton still then going in search of their first win of the season. And as we mentioned with regards to Liverpool, the season hasn't really got going for them. Up next for both sides, it'll be Arsenal in the Premier League for Everton. Liverpool have Champions League duties in midweek as they face Napoli before they then host Wolves at Anfield. So both sides looking to get back on track when it comes to the Premier League and get those all-important crucial 3 points in their next game.